All right, 1 year ago we styled this maple. We took off a good part of the trunk, almost half of the trunk was taken off. And then pruned the branches, wired them, set them in position, and that was pretty much it. The tree responded by explosive growth, so a lot of new shoots. And then, as you could just have seen in last summer or late spring, beginning of summer, I did a bit of pruning just to keep the tree a little bit more compact. The only thing that I did not prune are these branches, because these are extending from the new apex. And this new apex still needs to thicken, needs to grow larger. And the more growth here, the faster the new apex will grow thick. It's fall right now, so all these leaves will come off in a week or maybe 2 weeks. So what I do, because I'm working on it today, is take off all the leaves so that I can see the tree, can see the branch structure. And then prune it again, wire it again. Maybe work a little bit on the big wound of the last time, so just to make it look more natural. And the only thing that I will not be touching is this apex. So this growth, these leaves, it will stay on, because this section I just want to maximize growth. So first step, take off all the leaves, and then we'll see what's next. That really helped to get a good sense of the structure of the tree. As you can see, there's a lot of new shoots, so a few of these upward growing suckers, all these can be removed, and most of the other shoots can at least be shortened. And then we can start working on the big wound here.
I begin with pruning branches that emerge at the same point on the trunk, and keep only one branch per section. If you are not sure what branches to prune, begin with reducing the length of all branches, and then start making decisions on which ones to keep and which ones to prune. Deciding on the design of a bonsai isn't always easy, especially when a tree is as full and overgrown as this plant. Try to apply the pruning guidelines we just mentioned to your own trees. And if you are interested to learn more about these techniques, consider enrolling in one of our online bonsai courses. Here, expert teachers explain the relevant techniques, and you can ask them questions. For a free lesson, go to bonsaiempire.com/courses. The big wound right now is flat and looks very unnatural. To expedite the process and make the wound look a bit more natural, we make it a bit more concave shaped by biting away the wood with a knob cutter. It is important to make sharp, straight cuts in the living tissue to help the tree callus over the wound.
As you can see, I pruned the tree. So these are the branches that we are building for the design of the tree. These branches are still used to just take a lot of energy to grow significantly so that this new apex will grow thicker. But here we are already building the ramification, so this is starting to look a little bit better. And what I just did is work a little bit on the wound. So the wound was a flat cut made with a saw, and now we used the knob cutter to make it a bit more shaped and a bit more hollowed, so to bring it closer to the parts of the apex. So last time we kept a little space so that we were sure that this would be still growing strongly. And now we could take away a little bit more. The next step is wiring. So bringing these branches down, giving a bit more shape to these branches as well. And this will just remain to continue to grow upwards. And at the very end, I will use some cut paste to close this wound. And that's it for today.
Next, we wire the main branches, starting with the lower branches and slowly working our way up to the apex. Try to wire 2 branches with 1 piece of wire. Between these 2 branches, make sure to wrap the wire at least once around the trunk for stability. We aim to apply the wire at an angle of 45 degrees. The wire should be thick enough to hold the branch in the desired shape once we bend it. A rule of thumb is to use a wire of about 1/3 to half the thickness of the branch you are wiring.
Alright, I've finished wiring, and like I said, the branches below already show us a nice ramification. These are branches that we want to keep developing. And the apex just continue to grow, no wire used, just to maximize the growth here, so that this section will thicken up over time. Once this is a little bit thicker, so maybe over in a year or so, maybe even 2 years, then this section will be removed and everything here will be gone. There's 2 branches here that I also left. This helps in the healing of the big wound here. So the more growth, the faster the wound will callus over. So these will also be removed eventually. And there's one more branch that I will remove, the last branch, because it was growing. There were 3 branches emerging from pretty much the same spot, so I decided to remove this branch in the middle. Alright, that's about all that I would do today. So what about the aftercare? It's fall right now, so during the winter I won't do anything, and then in early spring we'll start fertilization quite strongly to really maximize growth, and keep checking the wires, because the branches are growing quite quickly and I don't want the wires to damage the branches.
Early spring might also be a good moment to place the tree in a large bonsai pot, which will look much better than this plastic pot.
And then in late spring or probably early summer, I'll prune back the branches that are growing here again. Still, I will not be pruning anything here. And then in next fall, so a year from now, that might be the moment when I start pruning this away and start building the apex. But for now, just focus on growth, keeping this tree very healthy and happy. And that's it.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, so you can see the progress of this tree over time. As a last step, I apply the cut paste over the big wound. This will protect it and help it callus over quicker. Learn how to create your own bonsai trees by enrolling in one of our online bonsai courses. We explain techniques like pruning, wiring and repotting, and you can ask questions to the teachers. For the curriculums and free lessons, go to bonsaiempire.com/courses.